Let's go, baby. 4 Hours Fight Club in this thing. Houston, Texas, stand up. Let's go.
Your winner by TKO, the Texas Kid, Michael Aswell Jr.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. We're dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered, a UFC and Fanatics original production. Now, I'm noticing, because my mic is set up, not that I'm ever eye candy, but I'm looking at how my fat head is right up against the... I'm going to try to fix this. No, Matt,
I like you close.
I know, but I'm too close. It's too weird. It looks... I should be back a little bit, but then my mic is off too much. I can't get situated here.
Oh, man, Jimmy, I just got back from the airport, bro. I had to get a flight at 5 a.m. from
where?
Wisconsin. Wisconsin.
And you made it in on a time?
Yeah, man. I got into JFK at, dude, I'm on 2 hours sleep, but it's always fun when I'm like this.
I relate. I was in Toronto last night working.
Ooh.
And the guys I was with, because there were storms, they were flying home private, but I knew it was going to be such a bumpy flight that I decided to drive. I'm so stupid. I spent 9 hours in the car going through customs. A driver took me through to customs to get a rental car in Buffalo, and then my driver got stopped at customs, so I'm waiting. It was a nightmare last night.
When did you get home?
I got home like 7 in the morning. So I got a couple hours sleep, but I'm stupid.
So we're both on 2 hours sleep. I slept on the plane. That's it.
I know, but I could have been home last night at 12. All right, let's bring it. Now, Michael Aswell Jr. I'm so stupid, Matt. I'm so stupid. We have Bas Rutten returning to the show, who's always so great. And Michael Aswell Jr., let's bring him in. It's his first time. Great featherweight win over Lucas Almeida in Brazil.
Let's get to
first round knockout. That was a really, really good performance.
There he is.
Hey, Michael.
What's up?
Yo, congrats, bro. Come on, man. That's great.
Man. I appreciate it.
What happened to dragging him into the deep waters and stuff? I mean, you kind of, took care of it. You threw everybody off with that. Drag him to deep waters.
That's on him, I think, I guess, bro. I mean, shit, I thought he would last a little bit.
Man, hey, listen, it had to feel so great after, when you get the call like you did, and you had to come in, fight at a different weight class. You took it on 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days notice.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to answer the call, but is it a bittersweet when you righted the ship now, but is it bittersweet when you're like, man, I know that wasn't the best of me at all, and it wasn't even the right weight class. And how does it feel now that, now everything's a lot smoother now, man? Now it's like a fresh start now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of feels like, I got to start over almost,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not to say I don't like 55. I didn't mind 55. I just thought 3 days was a little short. Like, I feel like you give me a week or two, I probably would have done a lot better in that fight at 55, but I think at 45, it feels like a fresh start. It's kind of where I feel like I'm meant to be. You saw I did pretty well at 55. So when I knew going back down to 45 that everything would translate, pretty well, and then just being able to work with the UFC was just unreal. Like, they just tell you what to do and you just do it, and then you look good, and then you're just in shape, and it's crazy, So I think it's awesome, and it's just part of the game, I think, too. Sometimes we just got to go through those tough fights just to see what we're made of, and see how much we got, and like I said, I don't mind 55. I don't mind 45. Shit, my weight was so good. I'll go to 35. It don't matter. Whatever, I guess.
Almeida had no answer for your right. I mean, it was really, you were really accurate, and your jab was landing. At what point did you feel that he was a little bit out of it? Because it looked like he was trying to, even when he stood up at one point, he looked like they even said he looked like he was kind of out on his feet, and he looked really lost. So I'm sure that was because of what you were doing to him. Was there one shot in particular where you felt like, oh yeah, that's the one that kind of stopped him?
I mean, honestly, I think the first right hand that landed, you see his face like whipped almost. And I think from that point, I looked and I saw his eye turn red immediately. And I don't know. Honestly, from the weigh-ins, I didn't think he was there. You know, he looked like he was worried or something. And even when we got to the ring, you know, looking across from him. So
Mm.
I think, you know, me just coming straight forward and coming right at him, little feints, and that first right hand landed. It was kind of, I feel like to me, once I landed that one, I was like, I was in control for the rest of the fight. And then, you know, those threes kind of landed and yeah, dropped
You
him.
smelled something, huh? When you seen him, you kind of just sensed something on him.
Yeah. Yeah. Wayne's
Yeah.
100%. 100. I was like
Oh.
looking at just looking at him, man. I just like something was off, you know, like he wasn't there, like he wasn't ready. And
I wonder why they were talking about how this was such a big fight for him because he loved Oliveira and he had been emotional all week. And I wonder sometimes have you ever had a time where like a fight meant so much to you that you almost took yourself out of it by putting too much weight on it? I'm wondering if that happened too. Do guys do that where like there's a fight for outside reasons that means more to you than just a fight?
yeah, I mean, I mean, I guess so. I mean, I can't speak for him. I mean, I couldn't even tell you. I didn't even know any of that. But I mean, for me personally, I think it's just every fight is the most important and the next important. Maybe you can put a little more pressure on yourself or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, the important thing is the fight, and we can't overthink that. And I think a lot of that happens with a bunch of fighters. They overthink the fight and
Mm,
think it too much, or you know, overanalyzing. I just think in his case, you know, he was 2-3 in the UFC. He missed weight his last fight. You know, he was 34, 35, and he's facing, you know, a 25-year-old kid. So, you know, I think it was just a lot. You know, he loses
yeah,
this. You know, the UFC's been ruthless lately. You know, they're cutting people left and right. So, you know, it's like everyone's on the chopping block. So maybe that, you know, that type of pressure might have felt
maybe.
or something. I'm not sure. I guess I can't speak for him, but I just kind of can sense at the weigh-ins like something
Mm,
was off, or like he was worried, or just not as confident, or you
right.
know.
Yeah, man, not just any 25-year-old kid, the Texas kid.
Come on,
Yeah,
tell him
man,
that.
the
Tell him.
Texas kid. Let's go. Hey, let's take it back, man, because we're getting to know you, Michael. When
Yeah.
you were growing up in Texas,
Uh-huh.
what you first get involved in with the martial arts? What was your
My first
first
martial arts
discipline?
was jujitsu.
Oh,
So I
nice.
played football my whole life. You know, I was an athlete. Like since I was 3, 4 years old, I was playing baseball, football. I mean, you name the sport. And you know, every time I played, it was just, you know, I've always just worked really hard and just wanted to be. I never wanted to be average. You know, I never wanted just to be okay
Yeah.
as a player. You know, if I was playing something, you know, I really wanted to commit and focus to it. So I played football my whole life, pretty much. That's what I thought I was gonna do is play
Mm,
Oh
football.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
all of a sudden you stop. You realize you're not going to be 250, and you're like, all right.
Well, yeah, no, I realized I wasn't gonna grow. You know, I was a short little Mexican
Yeah.
kid. I wasn't growing. I wasn't getting faster. You know, and
Yeah.
some of my boys were nice, bro. Like they played, you know, D1 like and stuff. So, you know, I just knew that that wasn't my calling. And but you know, there was a year I took off. I think I was in like eighth grade, and I couldn't play football for whatever reason. I think like the age limit or something from my league, and the cheerleaders were doing like jujitsu that they're friends of mine, and they're just like, hey, like if you want to stay in shape, like you should come do it. Like we think you'll be really good at it, you know. And we looked up
Oh.
the gym, and it was a Metro Fight Club, who was ran by Coach Sauce Solis.
Ah.
And
Yeah.
we're like, yeah, let's do it, you know, whatever. So I did jujitsu for a while. I mean, I did the kickboxing class a couple times, you know, just, you know, intros and stuff. But I was really doing jujitsu, and I was started doing like Naga, all those little tournaments, you
Yeah.
know, for like 2 years. I was winning all those tournaments, going up and down weights and just doing it, you know, for fun kind of. But in the back of my head, I always thought I was gonna play football, you know. So I get to high school playing football, you know, I kind of stopped doing jujitsu, and I was doing good at football. I was
Yeah.
like as a freshman, I was playing both sides. I was running back and linebacker,
mm.
playing both
Oh
sides on like
shit.
the freshman team. Yeah, like if you go look up my like middle school highlights, they're crazy. My dad cooks up all my highlights from football. I'm running over kids, like doing crazy stuff.
Were
But
you really over 200 pounds at one point?
yeah, I was about 215.
Wow.
So my sophomore year, they like moved me up to varsity. I was like playing varsity at linebacker, so I had to get big and stuff. I was lifting, bro. I was lifting big, you know, like shit. I was doing like 315 for front squats and stuff for revs. You know, I think I got up to like 285 bench when I was in a sophomore high school.
So what finally
Oh.
happened that switched you out of football? You said it was just the size thing where you're like, this is just not going to
Well,
happen.
well, that but like I was in varsity as a sophomore, so I'm still thinking like I can play, but my history teacher my sophomore year was the wrestling coach, my coach Stovall, and he was like, I mean, I don't like history and all that, so I was just like, all right, I'll go wrestle. He's telling me to wrestle. I'll wrestle. Maybe it'll help out. Help out with my grades or whatever. And so I ended up wrestling, and then I do really well at wrestling. And I went 19-0, I think, or something. I was like, on JV or whatever. And then when I was wrestling, I was like, well, I might as well go back to jiu-jitsu. It'll probably help with my wrestling and stuff, right? So then at that time, right, I was 215, and then my wrestling coach was like, get to like 195 or something. I was like, okay, like that's fine. 195, that's still like big enough where it's like after wrestling, you can go play football, get big, whatever. So I started getting down, whatever, started going back to the gym with Coach Saul. And then, I don't know, Coach Saul just pulled me to his office one day and just like sat me down and just told me like, hey kid, like I don't bullshit. Like, I mean, I don't know if y'all know Coach Saul or not, but like most straight up dude, like doesn't play around. Like he trained freaking Tito and Rico and
Yeah.
and he's just like, I think you can be a champion. Like I can make you a champion. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
Like he's like, if you lose, this is my weight. He was looking at me. He's like, yeah, you can fight at 145. If you can get to 145, like, I'll coach you, but you have to get to 145. I was like, shit, okay, whatever. And I was already losing weight for wrestling, and then I
Yeah.
kind of realized the football thing wasn't like, going, and then I was just like, all right, fuck it. So I started wrestling. Then, I was in varsity as a junior wrestling. Started getting down. I got down to like I started wrestling like 160. And then I started fighting at 145. I had my first fight when I was 17 in high school. So I just started training. I just started grinding. And Coach Saul was just like, run 3 miles every day. I would just go, during lunch, I just go run 3 miles. And, he was like, stop lifting weights. Like, no more lifting weights. Just start lifting.
Yeah.
All right. So,
What
yeah,
was that like, your first fight at 17?
it was fun, dude. It was awesome. I
Yeah, I
lost my
mean,
first fight, actually.
did
Real
you
nigga
did you
choke.
like the feeling in there? The
I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, I mean, I just love to compete, man. I love that spotlight. Like, I love,
Yeah.
that's like, that's my shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I lost my first fight and I knew I wanted to do it more. I was like, oh, I never want to feel that like ever
Mm,
again. Like, oh my God, that
yeah.
was like the worst. In front of all my friends and shit too, I was like, oh, this is horrible. But I was acting like a baby. Coach, I was like, bro, stop acting like a baby. Dude, you fucking fought great, bro. Like, get out there, your parents gonna love you, everyone's still gonna love you no matter what. Like, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
You're right. Like,
Yeah, it ain't so bad. It's
it's
like,
not,
all
yeah, it's
right.
not that. You're right. I was like, and
It's the
then
worst that could happen. Yeah.
from there it just fucking took off, and then I've just been in it
And we've
past
talked to
7, 8
guys who
years
used to play
now.
football before too, and it's like fighting is actually the safer route than football, and I think you're better off, and you're going to have a lot less long-term injuries fighting than you would have playing football.
Oh yeah, 100%. My boys, like I said, I got 3 of my friends that played Division 1, and then one's on like the practice squad right now, and the other ones are kind of like in almost in the league and stuff. But we understand each other because of what we do, how physical it is, and like the grind that we
Yeah.
go through. But like they don't realize like with their helmets, they're going full speed, helmet to helmet. Like that's worse than me like punching you in the face.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Like
concussions, man. People in kids in high school get more concussions than I had my whole UFC career.
or
What
even
is your
like the turf and the all
right?
the ligament stuff, like it's
Oh
rough in
man.
Yeah.
that shit, man.
Yeah, you better just fist fighting.
Yeah.
Hey, tell me, what does your old man think about you in the UFC now?
My pops,
Yeah, he used to
uh,
watch you playing football. He's got all the clippings. What does he think about this?
he was in my corner. I put him in my corner for my
Oh.
debut.
Now he's
Yeah.
not making it back though. After that, no, I'm only
Never.
kidding.
Never
It's
again.
funny.
No, never
You're like,
again.
no, now you're bad
Never
luck,
again.
pops. No, I'm fucking.
Never again. But I told him I would do it one time. I told him I'd do it one time, and it was 3 days notice. I was like, you know what, fuck it, might as well. But now he
Yeah,
loves it. I mean, he instilled just that hard work ethic that just outwork everybody. Like I was running hills and shit when I was like 6 years old, 7 years old. I was doing ladder drills up the hills
Oh
and
wow.
oh, look
freaking
at
yeah,
this.
here you go. And
Oh,
I would
Jake's
do
got.
bear crawl up the hill backwards, bear crawl up the hill.
Where,
Like I was,
where? Oh, there you are.
ooh,
Oh shoot.
yeah, like he just instilled that work ethic, and he just always told
Yeah,
me like, I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to do. Like if you want to do something, it's because you want to do it, not because I'm trying to make you. But if you're gonna do the shit, we're not gonna mess around here. We're not gonna just half-ass it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
every time I wanted to do something, we kind of went all in. I mean, he made his own like training company just so I could train. We can train at these parks and stuff, and then kids just saw the progression and how I was getting better. And the next thing you know, there's like 10, 15 kids, and we're all training, running up the hills and stuff. Yeah, it was called All Sports Training. It was, yeah.
Your
But
dad
Pops is
did that?
loving it, man. Pops is
Oh.
pumped. He missed this fight actually, and probably the last one. I was on after the fight. I grabbed the camera. I was like, "I love you, Pops," because he
Oh,
really
that's so
wanted to get
great,
there.
man.
Yeah,
That's so
but
great.
yeah. No,
And you're
he's
trying to
pumped,
get
bro.
on.
He loves it, man. And like he said, he just tells me the same thing. Just keep working hard. Just keep outworking everybody. So that's what we're doing.
And you're trying to get. You want to get on this card in December, right? I know you and Joshua are close, and you really want to get on this card.
Yeah, I need it, dude. They're saying I'm in trouble or something. Matt, talk to Dana. Tell him not to be mad at me.
Why are you in trouble? What I
What?
miss?
They said I leaked Josh's fight.
Oh. Oh, this might get cut out of this.
Oh.
Wait, what are we talking
Well,
about?
no, if it's already out there, it's out there. Like if
Oh,
they
it's
already,
out there.
if he leaked it, it's not right now. It's probably
But Dana's doing an announcement today, so everyone's like, Michael leaked it before or whatever. But I don't want to get in
oh
trouble.
Nah,
oh
I
you.
don't think. Listen, the way you handled business the other night, I'm sure Dane is high on you. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's
You
just because
know?
after the fight, I mean, I just want to fight with Josh. Like, I feel like that'd be so badass to be on the same card as Josh. I mean, we were on the amateur cards together before we were even teammates at 4 ounce, and we just really like, we just thought each other's fights were cool, and we always just kind of
Yeah.
hung out, and we were always on the same Fury cards all the time, and then the first time I ever talked to Josh, we were just hanging out at Fury fights. This kid just won the 125 belt. And like I said, me and Josh, like we talk on Instagram, but we never really like hung out. But he's like, "Hey, come with me." I was like, "All right, whatever." And we walk up to the guy that just won the belt, and Josh looks at him. He's like, "Hey, I'm fighting you next. I'm gonna beat you for that belt." I was like, "Oh, this kid is crazy." And then next thing you know, they ended up scheduling Josh against this kid, and then Josh, cleaned him pretty well for the belt. Yeah, but yeah, it would be awesome to be on the same card as Josh. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, you didn't take any damage. I mean, did he land any shots on you? I didn't think I saw one shot land.
No, I mean maybe I was getting crazy. I got excited because I saw the finish. I started throwing ooh like crazy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
tell myself I was like relax.
Yeah. It's good when you see
Uh,
them, you smell that blood in the water.
yeah. But I think it looked like in the video he landed a hook, but the only thing that hurts is my shin. I think I checked like 3 kicks, and that's the only thing that kind of hurts is
Okay,
my
but
shin.
you're ready to fight. I mean, soon.
I mean, I could fight right now.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to the gym tonight. Shit.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey,
just I'm
Michael.
so tired, dude. I didn't even sleep on the flight back.
Dude, you should be on cloud nine, man. Shoot. Man,
Uh,
you should still be buzzing.
I am. Bro, we had a
You're
great
gonna
time
feel
in
this for a
Brazil,
little
dude.
bit. Say again?
We had a great time in Brazil.
Oh man.
Bro,
Tell us off it. No, I'm only kidding. How was it? What'd you guys do? Anything good? Had some acai?
bro. Okay,
What?
well, I got there Monday just so I can get there as early as possible, just make sure. And it was actually a nice day. So
Okay.
we went to the beach or whatever. And then Tuesday through Saturday, it just rained. Like,
Oh,
so which was cool. We just locked in or
Yeah.
whatever. But wake up was smooth and stuff. But there was a couple of these boys that hit me up and they're like, yo, like, we got this, we're going to the fights. This was like a month or two ago, but they're like, we're going to the fights, whatever. We got this spot if you want to pull up, whatever. And they're like on Thursday, I was like, it's usually like weight cut day or whatever, but I'll see how I'm feeling. I was like, y'all got like a
Yeah.
sauna and stuff? And they're like, yeah. Well, like we got a sauna at this Airbnb and all this, whatever. They got private security and all that. And I was like, oh, sweet,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, so we end up actually pulling up on Thursday to their fucking eight bed mansion, this Airbnb
Eight.
in Brazil.
Oh
Pull
my
up
good.
and weight was good, bro. I was literally 150 on Thursday, and I was fine
Oh,
wow.
at 45. The PI literally was like, "You don't have to cut tonight if you don't want to." I was like, "That's crazy." Like they're like, "You can
Yeah.
finish in the morning if you want." But I was like, "Whatever." So we go to the mansions on this freaking hill. We're chilling. I just go into the sauna, do my thing for like an hour. Got down to like 49, 48, and then whatever. Anyways, so that was where the after party was, and then oh yeah, and then dude waking up and
are,
then like
are you a
seeing
single dude?
no, me and my girl.
Oh,
Me and
okay.
my girl, yeah. We
All
got this
right.
house together
Oh,
in
that's nice.
November. Yeah.
Yeah.
So But then Sunday we went on the helicopter and we saw the Christ the Redeemer
Yeah.
Oh, man.
in the helicopter. We went all around it and we went through
Yeah.
all the beaches in Brazil, dude. Oh my God, it's freaking undescribable. I couldn't even.
Was that your first time in a helicopter? I've never done it, but I kind of want to.
Oh, it was I did it twice because I paid because we had 10 people or we had 8 people plus the driver that was driving us, and so
Yo,
we went 5 and 5. 5 people get into the helicopter. So I
man,
went
F
twice.
that.
I went
Twice.
twice, and then we brought our driver on the second ride, and it was unbelievable.
Man,
My coach is afraid of heights, so the whole time Pinedo was like this. Pinedo was in the corner like this.
Yeah.
I'd be there with Pineda. I'm
Yeah, I
not
don't
a
like
big-
heights either.
The helicopters freak me out,
But-
man. I remember Dana told me that Lorenzo Fertitta had like a bunch of buddies. He named like, I don't know how many, but it was more than a few that died in millionaires or billionaires that died in helicopters. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
man.
Kobe too. I mean, I know that shit's scary, but I'm like, bro, I gotta see this statue, and I wasn't gonna walk on it. I didn't have time. We had to get the plane. We barely made the plane. Oh my
Man,
God,
that's
last night.
so fun. That's
Oh,
crazy.
you did it
man.
before your flight out?
Yeah, on Sunday because it was the only nice day. It was the only day it wasn't raining.
Right. And you just paid your flight. Yeah, you don't want to miss an international
My
flight. I've
coach
been to
was
Rio,
going
but it's been a long
standby.
time.
My coach was going standby on the flight. They closed the gate. Was like, oh no, you missed it by 1 seat, and
Oh,
they ended up reopening it for him, bro, and getting him on.
oh
And
wow.
bro, we were praying and praying because he's
That's
going to freaking Vancouver because his cousin, he's cornering his cousin Kevin Holland in Vancouver. So he's going to Brazil to Vancouver. So
oh
he had to get home
man.
tonight, today, so he could get home, see his baby, train, and then
Yeah.
go
Go
back.
back
Oh my
out.
God,
Wow.
bro, it's
Good
been
thing
crazy.
he made
Brazil
that
was the
thing.
best week of my life,
That's
without a
great.
doubt, without a doubt.
Ah,
The greatest.
dude.
It was
And the best
unreal.
is yet to come, bro.
I know.
25
That's what
years
I'm
old.
saying. I'm about to
Hey,
top that.
Michael, let me ask you. I want to hear your answer with this because
Yeah,
we ask a
top
lot
it.
of athletes this that are we're partnered up with Fanatics. If you could get one autograph from any athlete, dead or alive, who would it be?
I think for me, I love football and like Brady's my GOAT. So like I think Brady would be super dope. I know he's into the cards and stuff. I just started getting into the cards. I got my own like show and stuff I do on all that too. Um, but yeah, Brady would be, I think that would probably be mine.
Where's your show? Is
Nice.
it on YouTube?
Whatnot.
Is it on YouTube, your show? You said you do a card show.
Yeah, it's on this app called Whatnot. So like it's like a streaming program where people sell like trading cards and stuff on.
By the way, our producer, Michael, he just wrote Brady equals Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He probably did that for me because I don't follow football. But
I know,
even
but Tom
even
Brady.
I'm like, come on, man.
No, we thought
Yeah.
Mike Brady, the architect.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Brady. You don't have to be an NFL fan. He's one of those guys. Like you don't have to like basketball to know who Kobe was or who Jordan is or
Yeah, right,
You know.
right. No, 100%.
yeah. Brady is just Brady. Well, Michael,
Yeah.
that was really great. What a great fight to watch, and man, you really you look good, and your jab and it was perfect, and your right was really devastating. So congratulations, man. That was a really impressive win.
Yes.
And I hope you get on this card in December on the unannounced Pantoja Van card. I hope that I'm glad you're making these announcements for the UFC now. And like, if there's any other you'd like to tell us about, I'd be happy to hear it.
Hey
Yeah.
man, that was your true debut over the
Yes.
weekend, and man, 25 years old. Come on, man. I like getting this new blood in the UFC, Jimmy.
Come on.
It's just
Yeah.
it's refreshing. It's
great.
Young savages like the Texas kid. Let's go,
Hey,
Michael.
I'd be lying if me and Josh didn't say a year ago that we were gonna take over. This is right after he lost to Charles Johnson too. He was upset that he lost because he was trying to break Jones's record.
Why he wants to be the youngest champion?
Yeah, that was always his goal when I met him. And so when he lost to Johnson, he knew it fucked up his trajectory. That's why he started freaking taking all these short notices so he could catch up.
Yeah, all right.
And he was so close. He was so close. His birthday was a couple days ago.
And
But
so he might, if he wins, he'll just be like, will he be the second youngest, or will there?
Yeah.
Wow,
I know, still good. No, I know, still good. Still sick.
still not bad. Yeah,
still not
right.
bad. Yeah, who's first?
But,
Jones.
but
All right.
I mean, like a year ago, man, when he was fighting the spear, I was with him, and it was just I was just there just that week, just trying to get his mind right, and we're just like, man, we're gonna take over this thing. Like we're coming. And everything just started rolling from there. He started doing his thing. I did my thing. Contenders and short notice, and now we're here. So I'd be lying to say if we didn't think this was gonna happen, even with Alden too, you know. So this is something that we got rolling, and we're doing some good things at 4 ounce, man.
We'll definitely talk to you again, man. And congratulations again. It was a tremendous fight, really exciting, and hopefully see you in December.
You're a legend, Matt.
Oh, thank you, Michael, man. I'm so happy that you're in the UFC and you got that win. I can't wait to see you fight again. I'm happy you're healthy.
Yes.
Man,
let Dana know in December, please. Put in a good word for me.
I'll text Dana after this.
Yes,
that kid's great.
Right.
You got it, Michael.
Have a good one, Michael.
Take care. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You got it, brother. Take care, warrior. Jimmy.
Yes, buddy.
I want to know how things are going for you on the mats.
Actually, surprisingly good. Like when I got started, I always knew it was a good session if I walked off the mat smelling like a crime scene.
Hey, if you're sweaty as can be, that means you're putting in the work, buddy.
Yeah, but now I can't even rely on the smell test anymore.
Why is that? Are you taking it easier on the mats these days?
No, I am certainly not. It's this Mando deodorant I'm using. It's super high performance, odor and sweat control. It actually lasts all day.
Yeah, nobody wants to roll with the smelly guy, Jimmy. It's even better when you have something that blocks odor before it starts.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, this stuff is not magic. It's science.
Jimmy, if that's the case, then our loyal listeners in the Unfiltered Army deserve to know how to get their hands on this stuff.
Well, here's the good news, Matt. The people at Mando really love our listeners. They love us, but they love our listeners too. Now, right now, if you go to shopmando.com, that's shopmando.com, shopmando.com, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our code UNFILTERED.
That's a deal.
Yes. And if you're new to it, I'd say grab Mando Starter Pack. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes. And again, by supporting the show and telling them that we sent you, you're not only keeping us employed, you are getting an absolute deal.
So it's shopmando.com?
Yes, buddy, it is. shopmando.com.
Boom! Jimmy, we're all off a plane right now. Me, you,
him, yeah. And before Bas comes in, I just wanted to maybe to congratulate Oliveira. What a win over Gamrot.
You know, even though I believe I picked Gamrot, you know I love jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Come on, man. He took him down to. I mean, and Charles, you just gotta love the way. Listen, if you don't got a great sprawl, get an Oliveira guard. Get a guard that the second you hit the floor, a guy's on your arm, your neck, your leg, and your back. I mean, his jiu-jitsu, world class.
And he also Gamrot took him down. Like, it was almost like he was going to try to beat him at his own game. And then this is the version of Oliveira that people are scared of. Like, this is the Charles that people really worry about when he does what he did on the floor. And I thought that was a really bad mistake by Gamrot to immediately try to take him down and establish that. But, I mean, if it worked out, it would have been great, but it didn't work out.
Well, that's what he does. That's his fighting style.
No, I know.
He thought that he'd be able to neutralize him down there. And he was psyched up on here when he was on here, Gamrot, and he was, I'm going to take him down, do the exchanges on the floor. But, sometimes you get down there and you realize, this is something I haven't felt before. Yeah. And Oliveira is one of those guys where, not a lot of guys have a lot of success with him down there besides, Islam Makhachev. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he is also world class. You
picked Oliveira, so. Oh.
You're catching up to me, young man.
Oh. Am I?
51-49? I mean.
Points, you still got 32 points more because you picked some home runs. But yeah.
I was off this one. And then my third pick, Muhammad Usman.
Wow,
man, he got in trouble. He had elevated testosterone or something, and they took him off the card. That's upsetting.
Yeah, and Walter Walker was not happy.
Oh, he was beside himself, crying. I felt bad for him, man.
Yeah.
He looked like he was devastated. That's a guy that wanted the fight, man. You know, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Jimmy, let me tell you about Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't Yorkshire, it wasn't England, it was different, but it was nice. They treated me nice.
They did treat you nice.
They treated me nice, those people down there. Yeah, a lot of shaking hands, kissing babies, you know.
Bas Rutten is in the waiting room.
What are you laughing at me for?
I'm not. I'm actually.
Why are you making fun of me?
I'm not. I'm very happy Bas Rutten is in the waiting room.
No, I feel like you know, Sandra D when she came out of the bathroom at the slumber party, and you're Riz. Why are you making fun of me, Riz?
Oh yeah, I remember that when she was when Olivia Newton-John was 39 and playing a high school student.
All right, let's get the great Bas Rutten in. There he is, Bas Rutten,
Hello,
the
sir.
legend.
Rootin', buddy.
Good to see you, man. You look in great shape, man. You always look in great shape, Bas.
Can't help it. How
Hey,
you doing?
I'm doing great, but let me tell you, I watched Smashing Machine, and I am so impressed. Listen, I seen you in the Here Comes the Boom. I seen you in other things, but it's so funny. Maybe possibly your best acting job, possibly you've been in some nice stuff, is you playing yourself.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I could possibly get myself to cry if I think about my kids or my wife or something. But when you were in pain, I'm not giving nothing away. The movie's been out there. When you were in pain in that scene, and you would, that was fantastic. I mean, that was great. How did you get yourself, Jimmy? There's a part in the scene where he gets hurt, and Mark Kerr's got to help him with some of his illegals. He has to get him feeling right. He got some pain meds, but with Bas in pain, I wanted to give him a hug. Like, Bas. How did you get yourself? How many takes? And how did you get yourself into that zone?
Take. It was one take. What happened was, I think it really brought me back. I felt myself. I didn't know it was going to look on the outside, but I started getting emotional because it was what stopped my career, and everything was such a freaking time warp. It was Dwayne, the DJ. He was so much cur, and it was at the whole scene and the way they film it, so relaxed. And I'm just teaching him. I didn't tell him what I was going to teach, so he would really have to listen, and I really had to teach because he doesn't know yet, so make it better. And then that happened, and then suddenly it was like almost like I had it at that moment. It was really weird. I surprised myself, but I surprised myself also with everybody's talking about that scene.
They loved it, right?
It's crazy, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, really, I didn't expect that. Really cool.
And can I ask you, what was I thought maybe it was something made up for the movie with the injury. What was the injury?
No, so the only thing we sped up the process. Normally, what happens is when I do hit real hard, I will feel a tip, a little thing. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it, and then I know, okay, it's going to be 45 minutes. I have 45 minutes, and then you can put a clock on it, and that's for an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's not. If that happens, for instance, let's say 3 weeks before a fight, and I work out 10 times a week, I'm gonna have to go through that pain 10 times a week. So it's the most. That's why it took all the love out of fighting for me. It took everything out. I couldn't do it anymore because I would lose weight. I couldn't eat from the pain, and I don't want to take sleeping pain pills because they're gonna affect my mind. So yeah, it was crazy. And you have to understand also, at that moment there, I might have taken maybe once or twice a Vicodin. I didn't know. From Holland, we don't know what a Vicodin is. So in America, and here they were talking about it, but I never really, pain pill, whatever, So when that first time he gave me that is 100 Vicodins in one shot. My whole night was ruined. I remember we had to go to a Korean barbecue. I couldn't eat. I was sitting there sweating the whole time. I go, dude, how can you fight on this shit? This is so bad. So, well, apparently you get used to it. That's what he told me.
Yeah, shit. Now, the movie, how did it feel when they approached you with it and they said what they were doing with it? Obviously, you were just on board right away, but was it How long did you know about this? When they bring this up to you?
When did he said it a long time ago at the UFC event, right? He was going to play Mark Kerr. That was before COVID, I think. And then COVID happened. So I thought I didn't hear anymore. But I'm very easy with these things. I always believe everything happens for a reason. Omnia causa fuit. I always say, God has a plan. So whatever happens, it happens, and it's good for you or good. And otherwise, it's not good for you. And then like a year and a half ago, I got a phone call from Mark Kerr. He says, dude, it's on. And I go, what? He says, the Smashing Machine. I go, really? Yeah. He goes, and Benny, the director you have, you're the only one he had in mind. So then the next day I spoke to Benny Safdie already from a powerlifting contest from the daughter from a friend of mine on my phone somewhere. And that was it. He was so excited. He says, man, when I read the script, it had to be you playing yourself. I go, dude, I love this because I was really wondering, who are they going to take, to portray me? It's going to be a hard job. Some
right?
Guy from Holland with a weird accent.
Yeah. Nah, man, especially since you act anyway. I remember talking to you ages ago. We were doing a signing. I don't know if it was in Canada. I think it was in Canada. And you told me your dream was to become an actor, like even more so than the fighting. Is that, am I getting that? Am I remembering that correctly, or am I way off?
Oh, what happened was when I came to America, within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I was taking acting classes. I went to the Beverly Hills Playhouse because I realized that, I'm going to have to, get used to that. I remember my first scene, a monologue on screen with 32 kids watching. Freaking scary, man. It really freaked me out because it go completely out of the comfort zone. And that kind of watered away a little bit because the fighting was still going on. But I always wanted to do that. I think, and I always wanted to do stunts and maybe something in the background, fight choreography. I think I could be good with that. But as acting, nah. And then suddenly an acting part came one time, and that was the Eliminator. They actually asked it at the Screen Actors Guild, the Q&A. They asked all the people from the Smashing Machine when they got the SAG card, the Screen Actors Guild card. I said it was the Eliminator, that was, and that was the first leading part. And when the hunter becomes the hunted, it wasn't a voice that said, don't put that on, because everybody used that line. No, we put it on. I go, oh no. But it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. Michael Rooker was actually the bad guy in that movie.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah. So
he's great. He is.
Yeah, he's great. But that was just before the Fear the Walking Dead. Before he made a big comeback, But no, I had a lot of fun doing that movie. But I never do the same when Here Comes the Boom came out. It was it was like a lot of people, and they wanted me right away, and they said, oh, we're going to do movies. But I don't know. It was always, maybe, again, everything God has a plan. I think at that moment in time, when I was so crazy, I think me in that world, I don't think it would have been a good thing. So maybe I was holding off a little bit for that because I was crazy, man. And I put myself in crazy situations, and you never know. So I go like, and then now this came. Yeah, now for the last 15 years, I'm sharp as a rock. So I'll make all the sacrifices I did now is to be completely clean of everything. Even profanity. Try to see if I can be as good as possibly as I can. So now I'm okay, of course. But, I'm thinking already I have a really great TV show idea. We pitched it. People love it, seem to love it. So let's see. Maybe something happens from that.
You talked about the monologue, which is interesting to me, doing that monologue in front of all those students. And it's nerve-wracking. And like being a fighter, you think that you guys aren't afraid of anything, but you learn how to manage fear, I guess, differently in fighting. And what's the difference between how you would manage being afraid walking into fight as opposed to something like that, which is also it is very frightening. Just a bunch of people staring at you acting. It's a scary thing.
Yeah, and on top of that, you have to understand when you walk into an acting class, and a lot of people recognize you, right? Now you got pressure. Now you better be as good as you are in fighting. Right. and that, I remember, and I don't know if you had that too, Matt, I was more nervous for interviews than I was for fighting. I really didn't like interviews in Japan. I go like, don't want to do it. And then, of course, you do it like fighting. You do it a bunch of times, get used to it, and now suddenly it's okay. But in the beginning, I rather fought than I did interviews. Didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I was shy. I was like, didn't know I was very shy in the beginning. And then after a while, you just become more yourself on there. I mean, when you do enough of them, I guess,
Yeah, I think the acting helped me a lot with the show Inside MMA. Also with being a commentator live on TV, you can't mess up. If you mess up, well, deal with it, and because it's live. I think that helped me a lot with acting. I think, to just go with the punches.
How long did you do that? I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was just going to ask because he did that show forever. It felt like a long time. It was a great show.
9 years. Yeah.
Inside MMA, right?
Yep.
How you did it for 9 years?
9 years, 431 episodes. We just looked that up.
That was a great show, man. That was a really good show. Did anybody ever approach you with another one of those type of shows?
No, it's all online now. The only thing from that show what was going on was it was a great show, everything. But with the online now, if we had breaking news, it had to happen on Friday, right? Because otherwise we didn't break the news. Because
I gotcha. So yeah, it's actually a different time now with that. I didn't even think of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what about we talked? You talked about watching Jones train and finding things. I wanted to ask about Jones's because there's a possibility of him fighting Pereira at the white. And again, Pereira didn't bring it up because obviously Jones has had such a hard time lately. How do you think Pereira matches up in that fight? I think that's that's a difficult fight.
He would lose weight then? He's going to go back to light heavy?
No. Pereira would go up.
Oh, wow.
I meant a tough fight for Pereira, I think, to deal with Jones.
I think with Jones wrestling, John is very smart. John doesn't care. Like a lot of these wrestlers, I had them with Benji Radek. Unfortunately, he passed away. But he was such an incredible wrestler. I mean, I've seen him like big names wrestlers throw like nothing. And I say, take his ass out. If you don't take him down, if you fight a striker, you don't take him down, yeah, but boss, then they think I'm afraid. I said, don't blame it on me. But you're going to win the fight. Knock him out on the ground. He would take somebody down. Remember, Murillo Ninja takes him down, one punch, boom, out. I go, do that. Just still win by knockout. But he want to please the people. I said, get your record in order. That's what you need to do.
Get your record.
Right?
It's true. It's true. Man, people, they want to, I want to show, I have more than this. In due time. Right now, you might not have more than this.
Yeah, and Jones is not like that. Jones is hey, I'm going to take you wherever you're the weakest, and I'm going to exploit that. So, and there's always even the threat of having that. If he was able to take Cormier down, you see what I mean? Then, he's going to be able to take him down. Now, if something happens before a left hook is going to land, that could be a big problem for Jones, of course, because that left hook is crazy. But, statistically, you would say with his experience and his distance and his timing, he would get a takedown, and then it's all on the ground. That's what it's going to play.
That's so interesting. You said that guys want to win in a way where they don't want their opponent to think they're afraid to stand with them. I guess guys do get that in the cage, right? Where there's the thoughts of, hey, if I do this, he's going to think I don't want to strike, or if I only strike, he's going to think I don't want to go to the ground with him.
No, the worst, they think about the audience. Okay, they don't give two shits about you, dude.
Right.
If you lose 3 in a row, you're gone. They don't remember you anymore. That's what's going on nowadays, right? I mean, you're only as good as the last few fights. I say, and you want to fight for that? I say, fight to win. You want to have a winning career, right? Wow, sometimes, man. I said, now, if it's your peers, that is harder. But your peers will never say that if you're fighting Alexander Pereira, stand with him.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to say, take him down. I mean, a smart person does that.
Let me ask you now, coming off of the movie, and you had such a great performance in there. How does it work now? Like with you now that this is like, that was you said people are talking about that scene, which was phenomenal. How does it work now? Like, I guess with your agent or anything, and you're like, all right, man, now there's a little buzz, get out there and get me some shit.
No.
I mean, how does that work?
I do everything on my own time. I truly believe it happens. I had this great idea for a TV show, which also it's going to be different than what people think. But of course, there's going to be fighting in there, but it's a different angle. And I think now, hopefully, with this can help me to fulfill it. So we're working on something right now. If we can pitch it in a certain way, what we have to do, I don't want to give too much away from it, but it's something like that I really enjoy. I also started with Team Builder. Team Builder is an app, I have these audio workouts, right? A lot of fighters trained on that. Even Conor McGregor had a whole piece on it at one time on his Instagram. I mean, they talked about it in the gym with Jackson there. A lot of these fighters, even it started with Mark Kerr, actually. Mark Kerr actually had the first workout where you hear my baby in the background making sounds, because it was just an audio tape that I did. And everybody who listened to the audio tape, they go like, dude, can you make me a copy? That's great. And then I go, you know what? I retired fighting, might as well make it into workouts. So I made these things 25 years ago. Now I come back with a whole new 32 new workouts. And it's over an 8-week course that we're going to have on Team Builder. So I've been working really hard with that. They just sent me the app, actually, so exactly how it works. So we're going to have to change a few things, the order. But that's slowly but surely. Even professional fighters, they're going to go, okay, the beginning, because it's the basics, but then once we hit week 7, 8, it starts coming, they're going to go like, dude, this is insane. I work out on it. And any combination. The old one had like 15 combinations. This one has over 126. So it's like the most reloading. It's like the craziest thing. It's really good to put the mind-body connection together. And I think it could be, a really good thing. It's going to be cheap. I don't know what yet, but it's like $100 for like 8 weeks. But I tell people already take 12 weeks, because the basics are very important. Focus on the fundamentals, and once those are in, then slowly but surely we start increasing the punches and reloads and different targets. And it's a great workout. Like I said, I've been working out for the last 2 weeks on it. Yeah.
Where can we see this?
It's called Team Builder. And then Builder is Team, BLDR. And it's an app. But it's also a platform, and it has these 2 million of all athletes on there from anywhere. So what happens is, like, for a big NFL guy comes in and he teaches, because these high school kids who want to go pro, and there's pro football players, basketball players, baseball players. All these guys are on there, and they're all freaking athletes. And needless to say, my O2 trainer is going to be on there, that breathing device, because if you by that time still don't use that, you're the most dumb person on the planet. I mean, the difference is gigantic. And now people start seeing it because, the Olympians are doing it. Maybe I should do it. Okay, finally, people start waking up. So I have that, of course, on there as well. But then that course is going to be there. It's going to be the first MMA course, because before it was only those high school sports and college sports, like football, soccer, everything. And I think it can do really well. If they really pay attention, they're going to come out after the 8 weeks as a complete different person.
What is the key to being able to teach somebody? Like, because you're so good at telling people how to do things. It's not the easiest skill to do. Knowing it is not enough. There's something that makes somebody really good at teaching and really good at instructing, which would make somebody a good coach, as opposed to someone who can't coach but can fight. What do you think is the key to being good at instructing somebody or teaching them?
It's covering every single aspect of the area. Like, it's, for instance, when I'm teaching, sitting on top of somebody and I got my legs, I'm a mount position, I put both arms around his neck, right? It's the dumbest thing, because they can trap a leg, they can trap an arm, and they move me to that side. Now you say, so never do that. So make sure you have a base. And a lot of people say, make sure you have a base that they can reverse you. They don't know what you're talking about. So what I do, I always show what happens if I don't do it. And then I'll tell them. So now oh shit, you see? Okay, that's why you have to base out. Now they see the bad picture, and now they probably are going to be ready for it. But if you don't show it, they don't know it, and then they just, they wipe it off. Like, how many times I say to a person, if somebody reverses me, and I always do this without anything saying to the person I work with. I say, reverse me. And the only thing I do once they reverse me is keep the momentum going, and I'm back on top. I said, what did you do wrong? That's why you have to base out. After every reversal, you make a reversal as wide out as you can, because otherwise, if they keep momentum going. Now, if I say that, nobody pays attention. But if I show it, they go like, okay, so now you did that whole thing that you just did for nothing. Plus, now you gave him an alarm bell off. Now he's not going to do it anymore. Now he's going to watch it. So now you're shot. If this is in a fight, you just missed your shot, but you're simply not facing out. You see, so I always break down what can go wrong, and I show them what can go wrong. And that
the left and the right.
Yeah.
Kind of the left and the right of it, both sides of it. So you're
That's
not
it,
just.
Yeah.
Yep. We're also sponsored by Games Day and Game Day Men's Health. And the question is, what kind of an approach do you take for someone who is not a pro athlete but wants to stay healthy, which is a lot of our audience?
It's just workout. If you see some of the workouts that I do, People are going to go, what? I have egg weights, 2.5 pounds. I do a workout with that, but super fast. Super fast. Like these exercises that I have a timer, they 45 seconds. Every time it goes to the next exercise. And I do like 8, I think it's 12 exercises. So it's 12 times 45 seconds. That's whatever that is in minutes. And I repeat that for 4 times. Dude, if you see me coming out of that, they go like, it looked like I've been in a weight gym and I'm freaking put up. And it's really good for your stamina. It's, it's just making everything fast and light. And you don't need heavy weights. But using heavier weights, heavier, not heavy. I don't do that anymore. It's stupid. I never did that. I always did bench press like 30 repetitions. But, I bench press with 180, 190 pounds. I do, so I just do endurance because that's what we're going to do in a fight. Why would you do on short bursts? Okay, it's needed, but endurance, I think, was the most important thing that I focused on.
All right, well, look, that's what Game Day Men's Health is all about, helping men feel, think, and perform at their best. From testosterone to recovery to long-term vitality, they make personalized care simple. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com if you want to learn more.
It's true. I never went heavy with the weights. I'd get too stocky. I'd get my punches, I felt, would be like too, tight. I do a lot of calisthenics.
When I talk about the breathing, right? I always talk about it, right? Your chest expansion is how you breathe. The more tight your muscles are. I just put a video on my YouTube page in where I show you a stretch for your chest. That increases your stamina before an athletic event, like 20%. They go like, what? Yeah, if you're a guy with a lot of muscles, you'll increase 15, 20% on the spot by just doing that stretch routine. Now, why would that be? Because the diaphragm is that muscle that pushes your chest out, right? Actually, podcast is the thin dome-shaped muscle tendon. That's what a ball cap, they call it. Yeah. This is connected to the bottom of your rib cage, and it drops down. This is what the diaphragm does. From that angle, this is what it does in the body. It expands. Now, this has got some lot of energy. If your muscles, your chest is held tight, then the diaphragm has to push really freaking hard against all these muscles to get it out. So if you, before a fight, stretch your intercostals, now it's loose, and now it's much easier for you to breathe. How many times did you have a really tight pants on, or you put the rope really tight in your fighting pants, and it sucks with stamina, right? You go like, shit, well, I'm getting tired. It's because of that. You're stopping yourself from breathing. You needs to be open, and people don't get it. Now people start seeing it. And then also breathing. Everybody's breathing, 4 to 6 of these breaths pull this one diaphragmatic breath pulls in the same amount of air of 4 to 6 of these breaths. So doing it correctly, why do you think when you see Tony Ferguson, oh, he's got such a great stamina. Look at him when he's in the corner. 0 chest movement. That's how we breathe. And look at the other guys. Every breath you do this, you have to carry your weight up, carry your weight down. Everything becomes a fight. And if you're really tired, that's why people who are like heavy set or a little around the world, they have better breathing. Believe it or not, because they automatically start breathing through their belly, because if they do this every time, they have to carry that weight up. And that's why they get more and more tired. So most of the time in a heavier set person, they breathe better correctly than a person who's very athletic. Because all the athletic people, what they want to do, they want to show their abs. They don't want to breathe through their belly, because then they might think I'm fat. I go, dude, I'm stupid. This is one of the reasons we actually start breathing incorrect. Do you know that 95% of the people breathe incorrect? Google it. Don't believe me. 95%. If you stand in front of a mirror, you say, take a deep breath. You do this. Dude, I can change you in 6 weeks. You have no idea. I had an ablation on my heart done. Remember, I think I was talking about it on your guys' show. So once, 9 months, no stamina. The only thing I did, which was struggling, is the 5 minutes of the O2 trainer, that thing that I use for my breathing muscles to expand my chest, right? 5 minutes a day. And I was already struggling with that because I couldn't walk stairs anymore. It was really bad. And when the doctor, after 4 weeks, it was done, he said, okay, you can start. I was here, I'm pointing here because I'm in my man cave. This is where I do my workout. I had to stop myself at 8 rounds. Because I was like, and the minute break, I was already doing push-ups and knees in the air with weights on my ankles. I like, dude, I'm not getting I could have done 15 rounds, but I thought that's not going to be good. Yeah. I didn't do anything for 9 months. How is that possible? How is that impossible? It's impossible. But it is, I'm telling you, it's just because the breathing is under control now. People don't see it. They all think, oh, the spirit. Yeah, we actually it also, but your endurance. I mean, I just interviewed a guy who was given up for life, 2 years maximum life. He was going to get your things in order. The doctor said he used from his 6 liters that we have 1.3 liters of his lungs. So he lost a lot. He heard about this thing. He says, oh, I just did a podcast with him. This is 100% true story. He's got completely 6 liters back, and now he's off to go. He goes, dude, I owe you my life. You're freaking, I said, but it's been around for thousands of years, guys. It's inspiratory muscle training. It's nothing new. If you go to a published medical website, punch in inspiratory muscle training, 1,000 publications will come up. And there's not one negative one. I go like, dude, look at that. But they don't. They think it's more important to train the stupid weights and look good. You know.
Yeah.
And by the way, bodybuilders are buying it for their abs now. If you see my abs, dude.
Let's go.
And I go
wash something on there.
And I never train abs. Never. So how's that possible? Is this freaking thing? I'm telling you.
This is why you're a good teacher, though, because you knew enough to have that thing for the diaphragm, and I immediately understand. Like it immediately lets me know what you're talking about, because otherwise I would have been a little lost. But that thing of just showing it opening and pushing out, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because my breathing is shit. So I'm listening to everything you're saying, and I really have to do what you're suggesting, because my breathing is awful.
Also, what people don't realize is that if you breathe here, the most oxygen-rich part of your lungs is at the bottom. Your lungs aren't here. They go so deep that the bottom of the diaphragm massages your intestines. That's how deep. So it goes all the way down. And all the high-rich alveoli, those are these little grape things that pull the oxygen and they disperse it into the blood, and then the gas comes back. The gas exchange happens, so the carbon dioxide comes out. That all happens the most of the bottom of the lungs. So if you don't use those, but you're an athlete, you're a moron. I don't understand it. You know, and I understand it because you see me breathe in my world title fights.
Yeah.
I'm breathing like this, completely wrong.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, that's really fascinating, and it makes me want to try that, because I did buy the breathing apparatus, and I have it. We've done so much work in the house. I have to find it, but I got it, and I'm just so bad at starting something.
4 minutes. Wake up 10 minutes before your normal time. Do the freaking thing every morning. I do it since 2018, since May. I started doing it every single day. And I post them. I post time lapses. So people can go over the Facebook page. They can all the way go back to 2018 and they will see that I do it every day. And I might have missed 60, but that's due to traveling. But that's over 7 or 8 years. So I'm very good with habits. You know, once I create
your habit,
that's it. I don't break the habit.
Hey, boss, do you mess around with that ice bath thing in the morning?
You know what? I'm talking to a person for a better one. I have one, but every month I have to clean it, you know? So now I got a really a cool one coming in that has its own filters with ozone and all that stuff. Yeah. And then I'm right away back into it but you know, if you do an ice bath, make sure that you don't jump in the sauna afterwards. You know, warm up by working out. And that, because this guy on Joe Rogan started this. He was 42, and I think his level was 1,400, his testosterone level. And since he started doing that, and then people start doing it, and everybody's reporting the same. So if you go ice plunge and then you work out, and your first set, I have a cable machine here. The first set, you're so weak. If you come out of the ice plunge, it's so wild. And the second set is like, whoa, that's so much stronger. But if you warm up your body with power training after ice bath, you raise your testosterone levels like crazy.
It's got to be miserable, though.
It is miserable, but you know, you warm up really fast. I can tell you that.
I'll tell you, boss. I know I used to fight in the cage, but I'm a big wussy with this. I don't even like when I have to wait for my shower to warm up. I'm like, I gotta be tougher with this.
You just simply have to do it. You know, it's like,
I know
exactly what you're saying. I told myself too. I make sure that every day I do something I don't like.
Oh man.
Because otherwise we get weaker and weaker and weaker.
It's
there
true.
There is something to that, forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do, because even if you love doing something, there's going to be aspects of it that you hate. There's parts of my job I hate, but I'm good at making myself do shit that I don't want to do. So this way my job does better, because I'll force myself to do those things I can't stand doing.
Listen, I don't want to work out. In the early days, I wanted to work out. Now everything is hurting, everything is doing.
Yeah.
Because if I'm 15 minutes in, I finish it and I know how good I feel afterwards. I'm going to go, okay, thankfully I did it again. Because the mind-body connection, I'm telling you, if I have to memorize big pieces in my mind, if I don't work out, it takes me double the amount of time. And if I do a simple workout, boof, instead of 10 minutes, I do it in 5 minutes. It's so crazy. The difference is so big. So I know I have to work out.
Bas, let me ask you, only because we asked this to a lot of people on here, and I'd love to hear your answer to this. If you could get one autograph from any athlete, dead or alive, who would it be?
Bruce Lee.
You know what? I kind of sensed it. I sensed it. Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I grew up watching him. And what is it about him?
He changed my life. He was the reason I overcame the bullying. He was the reason when I saw Enter the Dragon when I was 12, and I got bullied relentlessly because of my skin disease. I was the leper in school, right? So they always ran after me. I was the loner. And then I saw that movie, and it took me 2 years to convince my parents. And then my neighbor girl, she was dating the cool guy in town. Xavier was his name, Xavier, you would say here. And he said to my mom and dad, listen, I'll take him with the adults. And don't worry about it. We'll take care of him. And so, okay, off I went. And within 2 months, I was start beating the adults up. And then I overheard these guys talking. And then I got confident because I heard adults talk about me. And that's when I knocked out my first bully, the biggest one in my school. And that's when my life started pretty much. So then, many years later for Inside MMA, I interviewed his daughter, Shannon. And that was so cool. Got goosebumps now. And I was... Because I told her, I said, the reason I'm sitting here is because of your dad. Because if I wouldn't have seen that movie, who knows what would have happened? So,
how did it feel? How did it feel to knock out your first bully?
Yeah, it's Jimmy's dream.
It was one punch. It was literally one punch, and he was out, and his nose was broke, which was a problem because now we had to go to the hospital. Police showed up at my mom and dad's doorstep, and they took me off Taekwondo right away because it took me 2 years to convince them to do it because they thought it was violence. And then once I did it, I knocked the guy out right away. But I never told him I was bullied. My mother had way too much work with me. So I didn't want to put more stress on her. So I didn't tell her I was bullied. I know 100% guaranteed if my dad would have known I was bullied, he would have said, no, he's going to stay. He's going to stay on it. But I didn't want to tell him. I felt bad about it.
And did that end the bullying with that guy? That just stopped it, yeah.
Immediately. Then I had 3. It was a list of total 4 guys. And I handled those guys off right away. And then every kid in school who got bullied, guess who took care of that problem? That was me. I started going after everybody. Yeah, that was it, man. That was a good time. I was last time on the show. I literally started getting teared up. And the guy got emotional. I go, because he asked me what is the most important fight that you had in your life. Was the UFC was a thing, and I said that was that fight when I was 14. It was the first time when they shouted something to me, and when I stood up for myself, that I shouted something back, and then they stopped bicycling and they started to chase me, and I put my bike on the stance, and I told myself, "This is it. I'm going to face it now, whatever happens."
Yeah, enough,
Jimmy.
And that
Jimmy.
was it.
If you want to see that interview, it's on the Matt Serra channel, Geeking Out with Matt Serra, Bas Rutten episode. Just let you know.
I love the Matt Serra channel.
Well, I mean, that's where Bas talked about that childhood, situation and how it changed the course of his life. A lot of us are like that, Bas. I'm very similar, man. I had to take 7th grade bullied, 8th grade, had a hit list, busted some noses myself. It is funny though, because everybody's trying to shield everybody from bullies nowadays. But they might have their place to kind of, I wonder if we'd be the animals we are now. And if we didn't get messed with as a kid,
That's what I mean. It all has a reason. Like, again, God has a plan, dude. Everything happens for a reason. It's because of that. Every time when I lost a big thing, a show or whatever it was, I always go, it's going to be okay. And then 6 months later, you find out, dude, it was completely wrong. So it's always been like protected like that. That's why I never fight it. I was one time on that show, Kevin Can Wait. I did a bunch of episodes, like 24 episodes for that sitcom, that second show that Kevin James had.
Yeah.
And I had to hurry to go to the airport. And the makeup lady, she says, just relax, don't worry about it. It all happens for you. So I said, it's easy for you to say. I said, just take this crap off, I need to go. She goes, Bas, let me tell you a story. One time also, I was stressing, and I missed my flight, and that flight went down. Everybody died on the flight. And she said
that.
That moment, I've never been, every something happens, she says, I step back, everything happens for a reason. So I go, okay, yeah, you put it in that perspective. Ooh.
Wow,
It is
she
wild.
missed a crashed flight.
Yep, missed the crash flight.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're in the midst, whether you're bullied or in a fight that you wanted to win, you lost, you don't see what the future holds, but you just kind of have to trust in that, because I've been there too.
I was never down. But if I lost, I see guys cry. They're like completely ruined, and I never had that. I always thought, well, I guess I need to get better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I never been down. I never, and it was always there. I like winning, but was it really like everything in your life? No. It was the kids, and you go.
Yeah.
So thankfully, I didn't pay a lot of attention to that. I think that helped me also. I remember a guy told me one time in Japan, he said, Bas, you lost 11 fights, right? And I go, what? I go, oh, dude. He goes, what? I said, I wish you wouldn't have said that. Because I thought this is going to affect me now. Like now, 11 in a row, let's make it 12, let's make it 30. And then you become the fighter who doesn't want to lose,
Yeah.
If you don't pull the trigger. And thankfully, I waved it off and I just kept going. But I mean, sometimes a thing like that can really throw you off because then it becomes, it's that easy. Maybe I should, and you stop putting too much pressure on yourself. I think if you just let it go, train as hard as you can, there's nothing else I can do. I mean,
That's it.
Really good, really hard. I mean, if he wins, he wins. That's it. So, yeah, I never had that problem.
I always thought Jon Jones had the perfect scenario because the one loss he has was in a way that everybody knows he was winning the fight, but it's still not a perfect record. And that almost takes away the pressure of being the unbeaten fighter, being worried about losing that 0. But he lost in a way where everybody knows he was absolutely winning that fight. I always thought he had the perfect scenario for that situation.
And the technique's legal now too, which is even more wild.
But Jones is also a person, it doesn't, he's so in control, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything aspect, he is in control of the fight, so I think he's just, a different breed with that. I don't know. I remember Georges St. Pierre. I'm all the way back. That was his 4th fight. That was just when Dwayne Ludwig knocked out Jens Pulver, all the way in Canada.
Yeah.
Back when he was the UFC guy, he didn't lose, left the UFC, then Dwayne knocked him out. And George was on that show. And backstage, I saw him, and I just saw his fight, and I knew he had a lot of talent. So I said, "Hey, what's your name again?" I said, "Can I talk to you?" "Hey, George. Hey, nice meeting you." So, "Oh, what's up, Mr. Rutten?" I said, "You're going to be the next world champion. You know that, right?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" He says, "You're going to be the next world champion. I think you're going to go to the UFC. You're going to make it." And he goes, "You really think that?" I go, "No, I know that. You watch." And then he looked at me. He goes, "Oh, thank you." He said, "Can I ask you something?" I go, "Sure." He says, "How is it that you're not afraid for a fight?" And I go, "Who told you that?" And he says, "No, but you don't look afraid." I go, "George, everybody's afraid." It's just how you deal with it, you just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So you can project yourself to people indeed but there's always a little worries. Now at the moment the fight starts, and once I walk to the ring, I don't have that. Then it's like, and that's the moment I focus on. I know when the bell goes, and let's get it on, boom, or whatever, bing, I'm in my bubble, and then everything is nice and dandy. And if I would get nervous, I would just think about that moment, and then immediately I'm good again. But everybody always thinks that we have absolutely no fear. And I go, "No."
Yeah, not true. Some of us have better poker faces than others. And even George is a great poker face. And I always loved how honest he was with that, because he didn't care about looking cool. Like, he would just say, he'd be so nervous and he'd admit it. But he'd always perform. So,
but that's what I tell people. I say, you can't have courage without fear.
That's
if you don't have fear, then you can't have courage.
It's true.
So it needs to be there.
100%, man. And you need to be in another movie or a series or something, man. Everybody, Jimmy, and you yourself, Jimmy, go watch The Smashing Machine. It was a great movie, man. It really was. I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed you in it, and I was blown away by your performance with that.
And what about Ryan Bader?
Ryan Bader I was nervous going into this thing because I'm like, I don't see Mark Coleman there, but it didn't matter. For the movie, you were rooting for him. Like, and if you've seen the documentary, which you were in, it's very similar. It's basically the same story. And Ryan Bader played the guy you were rooting for, and he was great in there. You know, he was really good. I thought it was going to take me out of the movie, but then I stopped looking at him as trying to see Mark Coleman. I just looked at him as a fighter in this position, and he did great. I was shocked, only because I didn't know he could even act at all. You know.
No, that's what I told him. I said, dude, because I saw the Benny Safdie, the director, he would have the scene, and the next day on his computer he already edited it just to see how it would look. It wouldn't be not the final product, of course, but you know. And I go, dude, Ryan, I think you might have a job out of this,
right?
Actor. So yeah, he did
he
really
was great.
You know who else was a surprisingly good actor? Matt and I have talked about Cyril Gunn. That movie he did, he was really good.
K.O.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it. He was like a really good actor.
Yeah, I think I saw it on a plane, right? I think I saw it on a plane. Yeah.
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
And Michael Bisping, he did some good things also.
Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah.
Dean Thomas just made a movie. Yeah, this guy, love guys getting into it. You know, it's so great. Hey, when you got something else booked, man, or something coming up or whatever, just come on anytime, boss. We love having you on, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I love it. Yeah, I will for sure. You know, once that Team Builder app starts, I'll jump back because then I can tell you more. Now I'm going to have to go over the app and see if everything is in order.
100%.
And what is the YouTube page if people want to watch you on YouTube? What is your YouTube?
Official Bas Rutten.
Okay.
Official.
Yeah. And if I say boss, it's not bass. That means it's one S, not two S's. I'm not a fish. Don't call me bad.
Oh shit, boss.
All right, boss. Thank you very much. Always great talking to you.
Boss.
Fascinating guy.
Take care, boss.
All right, take care.
All right, brother. Man, he's such a nice guy.
Yes, he is.
Jimmy.
What a fun episode.
Man. Any really shout outs to the guys that won? Did we do that? We talked about Charles Oliveira.
Davidson Figueiredo.
Man. And that was a tall order, man, to see how he's doing. And Vicente Luque's having a hard time, man.
I know.
I was really looking for him to do something, but Joe Alvarez was definitely he looked on point.
Yes, he did.
You know? And I'm going to see you in a couple of days.
Yes, you are. Matt, it's been good talking. How about this? This Friday, Saturday, I'll be in Rochester, New York. And the following weekend, I'll be in Denver, Colorado, if you want to come see me.
Jimmy,
our material.
I want to see you, Jimmy. Oh, and by the way, I seen some comedians. I believe it was Mark Normand and the guy Sam, he does his show with.
Oh, Sam Real Hilarious. Yeah.
Yes. They were talking about, I'm pretty sure it was them because I watched them, how underrated that your new special is.
Oh, that's nice.
I heard comedians saying how underrated that how people aren't talking about it enough, and I'm talking about it now. Unconceivable.
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, Jimmy, check it out. People should check that out, man. I like that the other comedians are like, "Yo, that was great." You know, it has to feel good amongst your peers, no?
It feels really good, and the response from other comics has been extremely positive. So yeah, it does, because you know that if they didn't like it, they wouldn't be dicks about it, but they wouldn't lie and go out of their way. So it feels really good, of course. I love those are two of the funniest guys working today, Sam and Mark. So it feels great when they respect it.
I love just watching that, and it came out of nowhere. They brought you up. I go, "Oh, he's my friend." I go, "Let me call into the show." I didn't want to. I'll embarrass you. I'll be like, "He's my friend." Jimmy, Matt Serra channel on YouTube. I just recently, the last episode, we had the guy who the producer and the creator of the Smashing Machine. So,
okay, nice.
Yeah, he was great, my buddy John, and it was a great episode. And he did he put on that scene of the old 25-year-old me, his little bit with me in there. But that was great. Jimmy, I'm back from my travels. You were still traveling.
Every weekend, yeah. But I only have one long trip before the end of the year for like 5 days on the West Coast. But I'm back now for a little while, at least in and out for the weekend.
Well, most importantly, I'll be seeing you in a couple of days.
You will, buddy. Good talking to you.
All right, man. Hey, and Freddie Vidal, he's fighting on the contenders tomorrow. And you know, he took that fight last time. He literally took it off the couch and he ended up strangling the opponent. And the fight wasn't the best, but he ended up winning it. He wasn't in shape for it. Now Dana did the right thing. He gave him another shot at it because he took that on last notice. So we're going to see the real Freddie, and I'm excited for him.
Great. Awesome, man.
All right, Jimmy. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.